Hey guys, this is Miss Esther from Community Works. I am talking to you through my umbrella plant. Today we are going to talk about New Orleans trees and plants. We're going to go on a walk and I'm going to show you some of the most common types of plants and trees that you can find here in New Orleans and how to identify them. And then we're going to make flashcards that you can bring with you on your walks so you can identify these trees and plants. This is a live oak. It is too wide to get the whole thing in my camera, which is one of the things to know about the live oak. It has very long branches that spread out horizontally, so they make a lot of shade. They're planted on the big boulevards. And live oak leaves don't look like normal oak leaves. They are oval shaped, small, and pretty dark green. And the bark is rough, kind of a light brown color. And they are called live oaks because, unlike most oak trees, they do not lose their leaves during the winter. At some point in the spring, they might lose their leaves and then grow them back really quick. Now, down the street, we have a fine palmetto. These spiky creatures are often found in the swamp, but they also grow in town. You can recognize them by giant spiky leaves that grow really low to the ground. So this one's kind of tall, but it starts off real low. Its leaves grow vertically, so they point up like fans. Alright, lighting up the neutral ground, we have a crepe myrtle. Crape myrtles are really easy because they look like they have muscles, and their bark looks like it's camouflaged. So the bark can look different colors. Sometimes it's more green, sometimes it's more red, but it's smooth and it's kind of mottled like camo. And these usually also have several smaller trunks growing up out of the original trunk. And in the summer, later in the summer, they have beautiful flowers in white and pink and red and purple, and flowers for several months. Here are a line of cypresses. They are waiting in line for shaved ice. You can tell a cypress, it's got a really straight trunk. They can get very tall. And these ones are kind of high up, but they have feathery, needle-like leaves. There are many types of cypress. The ones that we have here are bald cypresses. And they're called bald cypresses because, unlike a lot of other cypresses, they lose their needle leaves in the winter. And when you see these guys in swamps, they often have knees, which are the funny little knobbly things that stick out from the water a few feet, but the ones that grow in the land don't have those usually. Alright, here's the world famous magnolia tree. What a beaut. Magnolia trees have big, shiny, oval leaves, kind of like the oak tree leaves, except for they are several inches bigger, and if you feel them, they'll feel really waxy. Magnolia trees also have beautiful large flowers that point up. They can be about 6 inches wide or wider, and they usually have this little pollen cone in the middle. And most of the magnolia trees in New Orleans have gray, kind of smooth bark. Sometimes it'll have bark with little kind of little divots in it, like here. But there's 200 different kinds of magnolia trees, so they don't all look the same. Alright, and the last thing I want to show you is the shell ginger, is what this is called. The shell ginger originally came from Asia. Its big leaves are used as a tea and are used to like wrap rice cakes and stuff like that in other countries. But it's got these really cool green and kind of yellow or bright green striped leaves. And it grows close to the ground. This is a young one, but it can grow up to like 8 or 10 feet, so it can grow up higher than your head. And people plant these in their gardens a lot, so that's what you'll probably see them. And I'm not gonna stay out longer because it is raining. Okay, so to make our flashcards, we have 1 piece of white paper, 1 piece of thin cardboard like from a cereal box, a glue stick, scissors, and a twist tie like this. We're just gonna glue this whole sheet of white paper onto our piece of cardboard. And now we are going to cut out our squares. We're going to do 6 squares for 6 flashcards. I'm just going to kind of freehand it. It doesn't matter if it's perfect. So we'll do it once down the middle and then twice like that. And some extra paper I'm going to cut off on the edges. Okay, and now to connect them together, we are going to make a little hole in them. And the way we're going to do that, we're going to fold down a corner and then cut just a little notch in it so that it doesn't go all the way through. And you should have a big enough hole right there to stick your twist tie through. Not going through, you can take your scissors and carefully do that. Alright, so now I have my deck of flashcards and I'm going to start drawing on them. Okay, so first I'm going to draw a palmetto. Remember, it's one of these spiky guys, so spike it up. And they grow in clumps, so I'm going to draw another one kind of overlapping with it. Our bullet points to help us identify it. So the bullets for this are going to be big, spiky fan leaves. Second bullet is stick up vertically. Third bullet is low to the ground. Okay, I'll put up slides for the next ones and you can draw them yourselves. so today we talked about live oaks, magnolia trees, palmettos, bald cypress, crepe myrtles, and shell ginger. I think it's really fun to learn to identify plants because it just makes it more interesting to walk around if you know what you're looking at, and it also can impress people. So while you're walking around, I want you to think about why certain trees and plants grow in certain areas, and this can be either why they were planted in certain areas or why they naturally grow there. So like, why do you think people planted so many live oak trees? What about live oaks would make them desirable? And then look at something like a palmetto and see if you think that it grows more where it's wetter or drier. So try to notice some of those conditions and just keep exploring. I'll see you guys next week.